Hello, and welcome to another episode of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. I'm Rebecca, and along with my wife Karen, we are on a mission to renovate and rejuvenate our little piece of earth. Me again for another Every Bit Counts challenge. Today, I am going to be pretty much pulling out all of the kale because I want to plant some spinach in that space, so I gotta get it out there. We are going to dehydrate it and add it to our greens powder jar. So come along with me as we harvest our kale. This kale has grown spectacularly over the course of the year, but it's getting a little bitter, especially these bigger leaves because I haven't harvested it as much. So and you can also see where'd it go? There's cabbage moths flying around. So they are just laying their eggs on this. So I want to get it out of the ground and preserve what I can. If I can even find it, here it is. Wow. Look at the root system on that thing. It's huge. I guess there were some weeds. Whoops. I picked an onion by accident. Well, guess that's going in the house. Most of this is going to be probably garbage. Wow, that stem is crazy thick. Thought I could just chop it off, but I guess not. So this kale is still growing. You can see from the center that it still has little baby leaves, but you can see, well, I can anyway, on the back of this one, there is a cabbage moth worm, and it's pretty big. So we're not even going to use that leaf. I try to inspect all the leaves. When they have holes in them, that means they're being eaten on. At this point, I don't know how worth it is even keeping this, but we'll try. Every little bit counts. So I'm just going to inspect all these leaves, tear off what I can. Like you can see here, this one is just ravished. You can see all the holes, the whole thing. It's a different color. I don't see any signs of the worms, but not using that one. So it's kind of important that you inspect as good as you can because these leaves are curly and the worms like to hide in those folds. I'm also not going to use it if it's spiny at all. Let me see if I can find an example. Alright, I found an example of a spiny leaf. I am not sure if you can see it. These tiny little hairs on the leaves. They typically mean that the leaf is bitter and you don't want to put that in your mouth because it is prickly. Most of the time it happens on the stem too, but I'm not going to use those. Looks like that whole vine was prickly. Not vine, but bright bunch, I guess. Prickly, prickly, ooh, very prickly. This is all prickly. No one wants to eat that, even if it isn't a powder. So on the branches that I am keeping something, I'm not going to keep the stems. Usually you can chop these stems up to make stir fry, add them to stir fry. But they are, I tasted one and they are extremely fibrous and bitter right now because it was so hot here the last couple days that it really affected these. So we're just gonna skip that part today. That one was super prickly. Probably should be using gloves. So even though we threw most of it away, we still managed to get 3 full trays. So I put the 4th tray on here just for some extra space for the air to flow. So we'll be back in a few hours and see how our kale is doing. The kale dried in about 4 hours at about 135 degrees, and it was nice and crispy, and it could have been kale chips, but I decided to put it in my little Ninja Zhizher and I made it into a powder and I added it to my jar of greens. It was too dark in the garage to take you out there and show you, but that is what I did, and the jar is filling up nicely. I think maybe the Swiss chard that's out there, along with the onion tops that I have still to come in, will fill this jar up nicely. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more, and follow us on our Every Bit Counts challenge journey. And as always, Suki Suki, love the earth, love yourself, love each other. Till next time.